Hey, Carrie, how's it going?
Fabulous. Excited for our LA premiere.
Congratulations on that. Welcome to Outfest.
Thank you.
Now, for my fans at home, what film are you bringing to us, and also what is your role in the film?
I'm in the film Good Kisser, and I play the protagonist, Jenna.
All right, so what is the story? What's the plot about?
Me and my girlfriend decide to open up a relationship for a night and go on a date with another woman. And it's about the relationship dynamics, the ups and the downs, and how humorous it can be at times, awkward, funny, and of course, sexy.
Oh, sounds spicy. Now,
Yes.
I want to ask, what drew you into the project?
I just love LGBT films, and they were a bunch of interesting women on screen, which is not in every movie.
What are the challenges of embodying this character for you?
There really weren't any challenges.
No, really?
No.
It's all fun?
Yeah,
right.
it came super easily to me. Identified with her. Yeah.
I love it. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask this fun question. Because of the title of the film, how do you tell if somebody's a good kisser? Like, what technique, where you like, okay, if he or she does that, they're a good kisser?
I think it's just about how you feel. Like, when it's a good kiss, like, everything else melts away, and you're just in your own magical universe together.
And lastly, what are the do's and don'ts of planning a threesome?
Communication. Don't go into it deceitfully. Do have fun. Do expect some awkwardness. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. Hey, Courtney, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Welcome to Outfest, and congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, Good Kisser. For my fans at home, a little bit about what's it about and what's your role in the film?
Good Kisser is actually about a couple who are going to go have a threesome, and what could possibly go wrong with that? And my character is, I'm actually a rideshare driver. So I have a point in the story, but I can't really give much away because it would be a spoiler.
I've done some Ubering. I mean, did you shadow any Uber drivers for your role?
You know, I briefly did Uber driving for about 3 months. Yeah.
How was that?
It was actually a really cool experience. I mostly met a lot of foreigners, like tourists.
Yeah.
Like, they were just like, we're in LA. What should we do? Because I'm from here. I'm a local of LA. So they would just be like, what do you recommend? That's outside of the most obvious stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't really know because I'm from here. I kind of take it for granted.
Not a lot of people give credit, but rideshare helps you be open-minded,
Yes,
You
absolutely.
meet a lot of people with different backgrounds.
Well, I end up just chatting with them about where they're from. So if I had a tourist from India or from Korea, I'll be like, so what do you think about your country? I'm interested in traveling there.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you this fun question. Because of the title of the film, how do you tell if somebody's a good kisser? What technique, okay, he or she does that means they're a good kisser.
Somebody who takes their time and has like a nice, good build-up. There's got to be a good build-up. If it's just like, bam, if it's too aggressive, it's like, ah. So you got to have like a nice build-up. And to me, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm in for something good.
I love that. Lastly, before I let you go, what are the do's and the don'ts of planning a threesome, do you think?
Communication.
Okay.
Communication, and make sure you know what you're getting into. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. So communication.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. Rachel, congratulations on Good Kisser.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm excited. There's a lot of people here.
Yes, it's very crowded.
It is very crowded. It makes me a little nervous because, I have sex in the movie. So,
Oh,
yeah.
spicy.
Spicy times,
Now, what drew you into the project?
I think originally what drew me in was the writing. I think the relationships were so different, and it was kind of something that I had never seen before. Each girl is a little bit insecure, and they all have kind of this own relationship with one another. It's really interesting, and then as the movie plays out, you kind of see all their intertwined relationships kind of blow up in their face. So that's what kind of drew me to it, was the script, really.
Okay, I gotta ask, since you revealed it, how challenging, how fun, how many takes was the sex scene? How many takes was that?
Honestly, I was just telling my friend this the other day, shooting a sex scene in a movie is so unsexy.
Oh.
It's like, it really is, because you're all in your underwear, and you've got on pasties, and then they're like, okay, cut, and then you're just kind of like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna stand here now. Or oh, okay, and then they're like, moving camera, and then you're just like, oh, can you just, your hand is like on my, oh. So it's really, we did a lot of takes, but honestly, the girls are so great and we all have a great chemistry in it. So we would just kind of stop shooting and then we would all crack up and start laughing and like, we'd be like, oh, I think my hand is on Julia's thigh, you know? So it was fun.
I'm looking forward to that scene. Now, before I let you go, two scenes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what are the do's and the don'ts of planning a threesome?
Oh my, I mean, I've never actually had one,
Okay.
but I would say based on this movie's conversation that I would say do make sure that you've never slept with the other person already.
Okay.
And then make sure that you are making sure that everyone's getting equal time.
Ah,
I think that's like the confusing part, right? It's like, oh, this person and this person, like, where do I go? What do I do? You know? So
people are fair. That's
right. Be fair, guys. That's all.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
First time having a movie at the festival. I've been a viewer. I've been to the festival before, and
Okay.
first time baby.
Yeah.
Babies too. Dos baby bambinos.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What drew you to this project, if I may ask?
This project, I read the script and I immediately loved it. I love movies that take place over one night and really deal with, it's a character drama, it's a relationship drama, and it's funny. So I'd never read a script like it. I really liked the layers and these three people that are orbiting around each other. They all want different things and they all have different expectations and they kind of don't get what they bargain for, so that's cool.
Do you and your character Mia share some things in common?
Some things, and she's pretty independent, and I think I'm independent, and she has a multicultural background, which I have as well. But she's a little bit cooler than I am. She's a little bit more enigmatic. I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve. And yeah, you kind of spend the movie trying to figure out who she is and what her agenda is, because she definitely has one.
All right.
Yeah.
Before I let you go to enjoy the evening, I gotta ask, what do you think are the do's and the don'ts of planning a threesome?
My goodness, well, I've never had a threesome before.
What's your opinion?
What are the do's and don'ts of planning one? I think sharing is caring.
Okay.
So if you're gonna be having a threesome, then I think everybody needs to caretake for each other and make sure everything's equal. I think that is the number one rule.
That's the key.
That's the key. I've heard.
Hey, Wendy, congratulations on the film, Good Kisser.
Thank you so much.
This is my second year at Outfest. Your first time here or many times?
This is my third feature film at Outfest.
All right, congratulations on that too.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you've gotten this question 1,000 times, but my fans want to know, what's the inspiration behind this story, this film?
The inspiration behind Good Kisser, I would say, is I wanted to create a lesbian, sex-positive love triangle movie that's complex, complicated, and unpredictable. And I wanted to write a story where you can really follow the three women and relate to each of them, not just one of them. And there's much more than meets the eye in the premise. It's really, the premise is love triangle and a threesome in one night, but really the theme is mental health, low self-esteem, realizing that you need to stand up for your own heart and not be persuaded by what someone else wants, not try to please everybody all the time. So there's a theme of that in the movie.
Wonderful cast. Rachel, Julia, Carrie, Courtney. Could you talk about rounding up this wonderful, talented people?
Oh yeah, casting is so important, as you know, but especially in the independent filmmaking world, we have small budgets. So we didn't have a casting director. It's basically me finding people over time. So I first cast Rachel Paulson to play Kate a couple years ago. I just instinctively thought she would be great as Kate, and she is. And then I did auditions and eventually found Carrie Allison Hodge, Julia Ehringer, and doing combinations of actresses in the room, right? So you rotate them for chemistry and for acting chops. And do they feel like the character to me? But the chemistry also for this movie really has to work for erotic charge and sense of attraction. And that's so awesome. And then Courtney McCullough, I reached out to her through Instagram because I loved her. She's a genderqueer international model. And this is her first feature film to be in. And I just liked her personality and I liked her look. And I thought I would love this particular character of Yuka to be kind of genderqueer, but on the female side and end of the spectrum, and she's fantastic in it. I got a hold of her. She said yes, sent her the script, and we flew her up to Seattle, so it all worked out.
Now, lastly, before I let you go to enjoy the evening and enjoy the movie, I want to ask, what is your advice for aspiring filmmakers out there, especially LGBT filmmakers who may still see it as an uphill battle in this industry?
I think filmmaking, if you're trying to sustain a living and make a living and pay your rent off making films, that's always going to be an uphill battle. Especially if you're not born into, Hollywood royalty or related to somebody or have a trust fund. Basically, it's a tough road to hoe to be a filmmaker and make a living, regardless of LGBT stories or identity. So that being said, if you are LGBT and you're making stories that are about LGBT characters, which doesn't have to be about coming out, because I don't write about coming out. I write about everyday stories we're living, in relationships or situations. The best advice would be keep telling your story your way, regardless of permission. Don't wait for money. Don't wait for budget. Make it anyway. Make a short. Borrow equipment. Get people who love you and care about your ideas and want to be part of your momentum and energy, because that's how I get things done.